Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. I'm Bri Walling. This Naples Herald Lunch Break is sponsored by our friends at Fusillo Kia of Cape Coral. This afternoon, we'll tell you about hopeful movement for young undocumented immigrants, Trump using his presidential power to pardon a sentence, and more. Today is Thursday, December 21st, and this is the Lunch Break. The fate of hundreds of thousands of young immigrants living in the U.S. illegally and facing deportation will be decided next year. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake said he received assurances from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell that the Senate will vote in January on bipartisan legislation. The White House and lawmakers are working at the details of the bill, but Flake said in an interview that the legislation will broadly address border security, asylum protection, and a fix for certain young immigrants. At issue is President Trump's decision to rescind an Obama-era executive order that created the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which gave protected status to about 800,000 of those immigrants who live here illegally. In scrapping the order, Trump gave Congress until March to come up with a legislative solution. Officials pledged to present a detailed list by Friday of border security and other policy changes it wants as part of a broader deal on immigration. Flake, who's a frequent Trump critic, says he's been impressed by Trump's commitment to protect young immigrants. While Flake is confident the Senate will vote, it remains unclear whether the House will back such legislation. President Trump has commuted the sentence of an Iowa kosher meatpacking executive who was sentenced to 27 years in prison for money laundering, marking the first time he's used the presidential power. The decision to intervene on behalf of Shalom Rabashkin, who ran the Iowa headquarters of a family business that was the country's largest kosher meat processing company, came at the urging of numerous members of Congress and a long list of high-ranking law enforcement officials, who argued the sentence was far too harsh for a first-time nonviolent offender. Rabashkin was convicted in 2009 for submitting fake invoices to a bank that made agri-processors' finances appear healthier than they were so it could borrow more. His prosecution came after federal authorities raided the plant and arrested 389 illegal immigrants in 2008. The 57-year-old father of 10 has served more than 8 years of his sentence. The White House has stressed the action is not a presidential pardon and does not vacate Rabashkin's conviction. Trump has used his pardon power just once so far to spare former Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio jail time by wiping away a federal conviction stemming from immigration patrols that focused on Latinos. U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis visited the American Navy base at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba to offer holiday greetings to the troops. It was the first trip there by a Pentagon chief in almost 16 years. Mattis was meeting with troops, not touring the detention facilities or discussing detainee policy options. His stay comes amid uncertainty over the Trump administration's policy on continued use of the military prison. Trump hasn't released any Guantanamo prisoners or added any to the list of men who've been officially cleared to go home or to a third country for resettlement. Mattis is the first defense secretary to visit Guantanamo Bay since Donald Rumsfeld in January of 2002, just weeks after the first prisoners arrived from Afghanistan in the early stages of the fight against terrorism. 41 prisoners remain in detention today. 10 have been charged by a military commission, while 5 have been cleared to leave, but their status is in doubt under the current administration. That leaves 26 in indefinite confinement, though some eventually could be cleared for release too or prosecuted. And lawyers are considering filing new legal challenges, arguing that a policy of no releases means that the detainee's confinement is no longer legally justified as a temporary wartime measure. And that was the lunch break for today. I'm Bri Walling. For your twice daily news fix, head over to the Naples Herald YouTube channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts on the news or what you'd like to hear about. The lunch break airs Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. And don't forget to check out our morning report that also airs Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.